Okay.
Let me refresh it. I'm gonna refresh it just to make sure.
Oh. You playing Uno?
Oh, whatever.
Okay, I have to call you out playing Uno just on the podcast.
Okay, we're good.
She like plays Uno while we're doing the interview. She's like, hang on, I gotta do this. My turn.
You come out and say, oh wait, just give me a minute, it's my turn. Then I'm just gonna start like narrating what this Uno game is probably going on. And she called it Uno, but little they know she had the wild pick 4 card ready to go. No way she was losing this round.
Okay.
What was her?
I think the YouTube is ready. Yeah, okay. The YouTube's up. So you're gonna have to
Hang on.
hurry up and finish your Uno game, honey.
I'm almost done. Oh, I just won.
Are you sure?
The Uno is now in hand.
Okay, she won.
I was literally calling it play-by-play just like a minute ago. This is awesome.
How did you know?
I'm
Who do you work
psychic,
for?
man. That's what
Who do you work for?
I've got weird powers. Psychic. I know how to find remotes hidden in couches. I know the difference between butter and I can't believe it's not buttered.
Oh my word.
Okay, we're ready on YouTube. Everyone's ready.
Everyone's ready? Well, then
Yes.
let me hit the record button on both things so we can get going on this. So, alrighty, Maggie, CJ, Lulu, are you 3 ready to go?
We are.
Yes, I'm ready.
Alright, start this episode in 3, 2, 1. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Core Progression Podcast. This is the second time I'm having a band on this podcast 3 times, and last year I had them on around Christmas for my second ever video interview, and I'm glad to have them back because this year with all the craziness of the pandemic, I actually got to see them play live, which was awesome! Oh, GFM, Gold, Franklin, Berg. Oh my God, it's meant Berg. Hi, man. One point. This is because we did YouTube simulcast on this, so I always mess up. So please welcome again, Maggie, Lulu, and CJ. So girls, welcome back to the Core Progression Podcast.
Hello! We're back.
How's everything hanging out there in Florida right about now in this wacky time we call 2020?
It's cold.
Yes, it is actually so cold.
It's been in the 30s at night and
like 50s are the highest.
Yeah, so it's really frustrating because we're in Florida and it's not supposed to be this cold.
Oh, Lord.
So the weather you're having right now is the weather that we're having right here, right now in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, all the way up north. It's supposed to be having snow right now. Probably, I think it's supposed to happen over the weekend. So we'll see what happens. I hope not, because I just don't want to shovel it. But
Oh man. Yeah, our brother's supposed to go to Gatlinburg because they were supposed to have like skiing and like tubing and everything, and it's supposed to be like 60 degrees, and they're like, well, that's gonna be ruined.
Well, I mean, if you put some like ski wax or some like Pam cooking spray on the bottom of those tubes and skis, I mean, get enough mud on there, you're gonna end up flying. It's gonna hurt a lot more when you crash, but that's the whole part of the story.
Oh my word.
Well, first things first is I can't believe we're actually doing this with like a YouTube simulcast. It's the first time I've ever done anything like this, and when it was brought to my attention this was gonna be the case, I just thought, challenge. I'm all in for this. So let's go. So everyone watching the Team GFMers on YouTube, what's up? I'm Kevin. I'm also part of the Team GFM page on Facebook as well. So yeah. And also, if you guys are questioning it's like, are you really a part of Team GFM? Well, let me move the camera a little bit because there's a
Look at that skateboard right there.
that is not only for GFM, but it's also signed by the girls because they're supposed to play a couple of shows here in Wisconsin this year. And, well, of course, COVID kind of knocked a lot of that out and kind of stunk a little bit. However, in July, they were going to play somewhere up in Green Bay, Wisconsin at Cup of Joy, and I saw that it was happening. I'm like, yeah, this is happening. Traveling up there, doesn't matter how long it's gonna take, even though it's only like 2 hours, but like, you know what, we're doing this, just jump in the car. And when I saw some people starting a mosh pit for you guys, I'm like, okay, I know it's COVID time, but I can't resist. A mosh pit is too big.
Yeah, it was definitely just such a crazy time because we didn't know who would show up, and a lot of people were just like very scared to go to shows, and so we had I think 6 or 7 that stayed, and we're like, we have to do them, like it's our only chance to get out this entire year. And so we went for it, and just the amount of people that showed up every time was overwhelming, and like nobody was like scared. Like obviously we took precautions, people wore masks, people social distance and stuff, but when it came to like experiencing the show, it was just like normal, and like everybody was so excited to hear music again, and it was just like everybody was revived, and like concerts haven't gotten stale, but they like definitely there was a difference between when you were playing in the U.S. and then you would play outside of the U.S.
It was like Christmas morning
and
excitement.
it was like you were playing outside of the U.S., but we were just still in like the United States, and like we weren't playing like arena tours and stuff, but it was that same type of energy in like these intimate venues, which was such a cool thing, especially in like the weird year we've had.
And even with the weird year we had as well, as just there have been a couple of bands out there that I've been paying attention to that have gone out and have done some live shows. There haven't been many, but there have been some. U3 being one of them, and it's something where people really love that live music setting because once it was gone, taken away from us back in March, and also everyone's locked in their houses. This is something that for us as fans, we go to that, and it's just our place to escape the world and escape everything else and just enjoy ourselves just completely unequivocally and without a care in the world. And when that was taken away, it was kind of like our family was taken away a little bit because all the fans that are there, even though we don't know them personally, at times it's just like, well, we meet them there. We all have a positive connection with the band that's on stage with that music, and we miss that so much. So, of course, when we get to see them live, or whatever band it was, even with you girls, holy crap, was that energy just insane.
Yeah, I feel like we also felt that same way because, like you said, it is that family, and especially with Team GFM, everybody has gotten so close, and like especially with everybody being on lockdown, we have flocked to social media, and so everybody has like kind of grouped together, and so being able to see each other in person for the first time in a couple months, it was just like, hey guys, I miss you so much.
It's like that long-time family reunion where it's like you see your cousins or see your like long-lost family members that you haven't seen like a year or two, just like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
and it's like your favorite cousin when it's not a good time until they show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they show up, it's like, okay, it's going on.
It's like, party's on now.
Well, because I mean, when I saw you up in Green Bay, that was what the feel was, because I think in that venue there had to be about maybe a little bit over 100 people there, and it was a smaller venue as well, but all of a sudden I'm just seeing people start crowding closer to the front, and I'm thinking to myself, knowing kind of, with fires going on, they're supposed to be kind of distancing. However, it's so difficult not to go in that environment, especially when the energy is flowing. All of a sudden, right when you went on stage, I saw some people start a little bit of a mosh pit, and I'm just like, yeah, there is no way that I'm resisting that. Once again, like, okay, who's gonna be the guy that just starts launching people? Everyone pointed at the guy wearing this like neck gear that looked like a Guy Fawkes mask, and I'm just like, guy, what the heck? I'm probably the guy that just ends up either launching people or getting knocked down or getting beat up in the process. So for you guys to pick me out as the guys like, yeah, that's the guy that's gonna end up wrecking everybody, I felt honored.
Yeah, that was like, I think I got to walk into the crowd of that show, and Sita got into the crowd there too, and so it was like, we're like giving the mic to people, and they're screaming, and it's like, you know what, like, everything that's happened, and all the, like, the curveballs we've been thrown this year, it doesn't matter, because people are still, like, being connected through this music thing, it's, like, nothing's gonna stop GFM, and nothing's gonna stop this entire music scene, because, it goes deeper than just, like, concerts and everything. You have that connection on a deeper level, and so when you do get to come back, and it's like, it's gonna rear its head, it's like, no, you can't hold me back, we're coming back.
Oh, exactly. And then once concerts do come back, it's something where I know there's going to be a lot of people that are just going to flock to these live venues, whichever live venues are still standing, because right now there's a lot of independent venues that are not getting any money coming in. There's a lot that are closing down, which absolutely sucks, because then once stuff comes back, there's going to be less chances for people to go and see live music, and that's what people really want to do. Because again, it's that family vibe, it's that connectivity with other people and with the bands as well. Because there's some people that connect so well with music and with your music as well, to where when they're having bad days, to when they're just not feeling themselves, they put on GFM music and they feel like themselves over again, and it turns their day around instantaneously. Everyone has a band like that, and I know a lot of members of Team GFN have that with you guys. So they're waiting for those concerts to come back in full force. All of a sudden, you guys are doing shows like 20 shows a month, and all of a sudden you're going around the entire United States, and everyone's flocking to these shows, and all of a sudden you're starting to see these different posts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, hell, even TikTok videos of you guys just up on stage going absolutely crazy. All of a sudden, people are going to be wondering, who the heck are these girls that literally are just like, okay, they're playing this pop punk, oh my god, now they're screaming. Is this, and all of a sudden, because whenever I hear the beauty core thing, I'm like, I always try to describe it to people as, take the pop punk sounds of Paramore, but also the roughness and the genre blending that A Day to Remember can do, put it together, and then boom, Just is it's a way to put it, but even if it isn't, that's the way I describe it anyway. So I'm just sticking with.
I feel like that's the most accurate description you can like get because it is very hard to describe what beauty core is.
Yeah.
And if I just hit the nail on the head, oh yeah. So one thing I do want to ask about is when it comes to those live shows, because you said you played about 6 or 7 during this time. What was the largest crowd that you ended up getting? And again, what was like the overall reception of that show? Because with people waiting for shows, people wanting to get out even during this pandemic, I mean, like you said, with that energy being something more like a show over in Europe versus a regular show in the US, I mean, the energy had to be absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, I think either we played a concert festival called Kingdom Come Festival in July. That was like the first show we played this summer, and then we played a show in Ocala.
Oh my word.
When was that? September, October?
I don't
I think
know.
October.
That one was crazy.
There was a couple hundred people at either of those shows. We're terrible at like gauging the amount of people there, but there was like at least a couple hundred people there. And like that was both of those shows. It was just like people were like just waiting to be told like they could do whatever they wanted.
It was
basically.
like they had packaged all their energy up and we're waiting for this one moment, and it just bursted.
Especially we played the Ocala show, and we hadn't played Florida in like almost a year, I think, because we played in January, and I think that was maybe the last time we played in Florida at all because everything shut down. And so they've been wanting us to come back. We're like, yeah, we'll come back. We're trying. And so we finally did. And just everybody came out. Everybody that we knew, everybody that we hadn't seen in like the entire year, everybody was there.
And like at least 3 people were
At
there.
least 3 people were there. Like they were crowd surfing. They were trying to jump on the stage and then jump off. And like it was just the more into like the night it got, the crazier people got. And we were the headliners, and we didn't go on until midnight, maybe 11, maybe midnight, sometime around then. And people were still like just going just as hard, and they had saved all their energy, which is so crazy because they were going extremely hard for all the bands.
It's crazy.
And then they like found like another 100% to put into it when we went on the stage.
Just think of like what you imagine when someone says energy drinks. That is the energy
like
that was
if you
there.
gave like a 5-year-old an entire pack of Monsters, like that's what happened.
Honestly.
Yikes. Now that's the kind of energy not only we have to have at concerts like going forward, but just forever and ever and ever, because that's the kind of energy that just drives those shows that when people look back, and even like myself, when I look back at shows, it's the shows that have that immense energy, that immense just passion from not only the fans, but the band on stage, and that connectivity. I mean, you just get to do all this crazy stuff. You're seeing people jumping off of the stage. You're seeing the band even going into the crowd, because I saw you girls going to the crowd as well, playing when you guys were doing it in Green Bay. And just everything about it, just that kind of connectivity and that kind of energy is just something that fans will remember from now, even until the day they die, and then their kids are going to remember because they tell the stories over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, which is exactly just, especially for us playing on stage, we feed off of the crowd, and so the amount of energy they're giving, we're able to give more back, because it's like, oh yeah, these people are into it, I'm into it too, and it just makes you so happy on stage, and it just makes you want to go even harder.
And that's the best way to go about it too, because I was talking with Bill Champlin, former keyboardist and singer for the band Chicago for about 20 years.
Oh wow.
Office, or yesterday for people on the YouTube live stream. So again, hello. But talking about just when it comes to concerts, it's all about the passion that the band has for the music and how that ends up relating to the crowd as well. Because if you're playing with the passion that you put in there, the crowd's gonna interact with that passion on a deeper level, and they're gonna just give it right back to you. It's gonna be like a ping pong match, just going back and forth to the point where, I mean, you're gonna have people like in that Ocala show just going absolutely nuts, like a 5-year-old after drinking a case. But that's gonna be a couple hundred people at a time, and then once COVID's over, it's gonna go from a couple hundred to hopefully a couple thousand.
Yeah, exactly. It's just an amazing experience, and it's something that's so hard to explain for someone who hasn't experienced that, and it's something that like I hope everybody has the chance to experience that kind of show one day.
And if you keep putting out shows like that, I mean, eventually everyone's gonna have experienced something like that, because just with the energy that you girls put into those shows and put into the music as well, and just how, especially with the EP you guys came out last year, All the Horror, I know we talked about that last year, but just the way it was all blended, jeez, I mean, it's really hard. And you ended up did come out with a new EP this year called Operation Takeover, which came out in September. However, you guys were releasing singles for it all the way back in January. Because I still remember when I Don't Want Your Fantasy or I Don't Need Your Fantasy. I'm always going to mess it up because I can never remember what the actual name is. I know it's one or the other. I got to quickly pull it up so I don't sound too silly because I know Team GFM might be like, how do you not remember that? No, I've got 7 concussions over the course of my many years on Earth, so sometimes some things go in and go out.
Oh my
and I just can't
goodness.
remember certain things. My point is, I Don't Need Your Fantasy. That is it. So you guys came out with that one back in January, and I still remember hearing it, and I just thought, you pretty much took this whole take on a punk rock track and like blended it with the beautycore style. And at first I'm like, this is really interesting because I'm a huge punk rock fan. I love bands like Rise Against my favorite band. There's Anti-Flag, Pennywise. Love listening to Dead Kennedys, and hearing this, I'm just like, that punk rock, just raw vigor and just anger within the music that can be brought out was brought out in this song from you guys. So that was something when I heard, I thought, huh, it's good and it's different.
Yeah, that one was just, it was such a fun song to write because we wrote that with Damon Starkey. He's a local producer here in Florida, and he like has toured with Puddle of Mud. He's toured with Burn Season, so he was like very much in that era of music. And so we were just kind of like just messing around. We're like, we were roasting a person that didn't exist. We're like, if this person, like, if you really did not like a person, what would you say to them? We're just like, you know, you've been played so many times, you make the perfect Barbie. Like, we were just joking around. We're like, why don't we actually use that? And we were laughing so hard. Like, when you laugh at something, you know you have to use it.
It's like all the shower thoughts. You know when you go back in an argument, like, 2 years ago in the shower, and you're like, I should have said this to them. It's like all of those roasts compiled into a song.
Yeah, and just stuff that we were just randomly coming up with, and we're just like, you know what? Don't even think, just write it down. Let's just go for it, and then like you can revise it after. And so it was just so fun, and we were just laughing the whole time.
And it worked out too because the energy just came out of the song, and then again when you played it live and I saw it live, it was one of the more exciting songs that you played live. I mean, there were so many of the songs that were just like got the crowd going, but this one was just that extra enhanced just energy that had behind it because I've been to plenty punk rock shows in my time. I mean, I'm not a young whippersnapper anymore. 6 years old. I should get myself a cane and a walker by now. But when I heard that one and I compared it to something like this, the energy that the crowd had and just how it was all brought out in the song and in the crowd, it reminded me when I went to go see Anti-Flag back in September of 2019, just because the crowd was just bonkers and everyone was just feeding off that energy of just the roughness and the rawness behind, especially the drumming as well. Just with that harder hit on the snare, just perfect way to go about it, and it just fed off of the fans, fed off of you guys. It was perfect. So I really liked the way that one came out.
Yeah, that one's just so fun to play on stage live because I always get stuck either like screaming or singing, and so I was like, I'll do the verses, CJ, you take the choruses so I can run around. And so it's just a very fun song, and especially with like faster songs, we love playing those live because you can really like you get into it and the crowd gets into it and you can get them screaming and stuff. And like just like the hey parts, we've never had like a hey in our songs, so we're like, let's just do that. Let's get the crowd to scream hey. And so it's just a really fun song.
And then you get that whole crowd participation thing already built into that song. So even if there's people that really don't know that much GFM or seen you for the first time, like at a festival or something, just coming in like, oh, this band seems interesting, I'm gonna go see them. All of a sudden, after one chorus on that song, they're gonna know the whole entire hey part to it, so they're able to get into it right away. It invites other fans that don't really know you guys all that well to come in and get into the song, and all of a sudden they're gonna start getting into the energy of it. And then when the other songs start coming through and through, they're already gonna have that energy built up in them, and they're gonna be able to transfer that over into the other songs throughout the rest of the set.
Yeah.
And that's when I keep going the whole entire way through. And then when Operation Takeover came out in September, I ended up reviewing it for our YouTube channel, and I'm always completely honest with my reviews, so I always try and put everything in a complete context to where, in my opinion, when it came from Operation Takeover to Oh the Horror, I didn't think Operation Takeover was as good as Oh the Horror was. And what I mean by that is that's in comparison, because I remember we talked last year, I really liked Oh the Horror. The way it was blended, everything was almost like precise down to the core, and just everything was flowed really well. My first couple listen-throughs for Operation Takeover, the blending was there, but sometimes I didn't think the blending was nearly as crisp. But as time has gone on, I've actually started to take more to the Operation Takeover EP because I've started to really listen to some more things. And of course, that's what happens with time. Just it starts to grow on you a little bit. And the two songs that really grew on me, one was Selfish, and the other one is, I think, the one that Team GFM absolutely loved the most, and that's one which was Smile.
Yeah, which is so crazy because we did try to make this one more raw and less, like, blended together. We wanted everything to be to the extreme on each end. So, like, the softer songs were all the way to, like, that pop punk, like, singy-songy, and then the heavy ones were all the way to heavy. So there was a little bit of disconnect between the songs. So we tried to do that on purpose because we wanted to really test ourselves and challenge how far we could go in each category.
Yeah.
And so, like, the songs like Selfish, some of our camp didn't actually like that song at first, so we fought for it. We're like, no, we gotta do this. This is like a heart passion song. This is like spill your heart out. Like, let it all hang out on the floor. And so we were working on it with Eric, our producer, and we're like, Eric, you gotta help us win over the crowd. And so he's like, don't worry, I'll add some synth in there. It'll be great. And so he changed the whole intro part and added like the little synth part, and we're like, thank you. Chef's kiss. and then like especially Smile, it's just something that was so tongue-in-cheek, and we really wanted that like kind of making fun of yourself song, and it is that tackling those experiences of people telling you, oh hey, you should smile more, oh why don't you look happy, and it's like making fun of those experiences, because if you take yourself too seriously and if you take all of that and like the negativity too seriously, then it is going to harp on you and it is going to break you down. And we've learned to just kind of laugh at everything and laugh at yourself and just have everybody surrounding you be so positive to like be able to pull you up and laugh at everything together. And so these things that should actually tear you down, they only make you stronger and they only make you just it just keeps you going, and it's very much like, ha, I was the stronger person and didn't let it get to me.
And the first time I'll go to Selfish first off, because the first thing that brought me into that one was the chorus, because when I listened to it, it had this certain flow that I was like, okay, when it has this pop punk flow to it, but it seemed like it was inspired by I'm trying to figure out what song it was inspired by, just listening to it over and over. I'm like, okay, just listen to the chorus going through it. And then it hit me, and I'm like, okay, I know kind of where you were going with this in terms of kind of the construction with the pop punk sense. And I think the inspiration really comes from Sum 41's Still Waiting, because I heard, I'm like, the pattern, just the way it's constructed, and the way that the chorus hits you, I'm like, this feels a lot like the way that Still Waiting would hit you from Sum 41. So that was what drew me into that one initially. But then when it comes to Smile, because at first I thought, oh, this is interesting. Like, something feels like I've heard this before. And after a while I was trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden, boom, it hit me. Just the way, especially with the chanting style in there, especially in the intro, I felt like you were trying to really get the energy and get the vigor similar to what Bring Me the Horizon did on Happy Song off of That's the Spirit in 2015.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were trying to emanate. And because we have like the cheerleading outfits and everything, we're like, why don't we have like a song with cheerleading in it already? Like, that's just kind of like a no-brainer. Why wouldn't we have done that already? And so we wanted to definitely like pull inspiration from that, because we're like, that's like such a unique thing to do. Let's do that in our song too.
And when it comes down to it too, with what you were talking about with trying to do different things on these songs to really push things to the extreme and challenge yourselves, while at times, like, compared to Oh the Horror, where again, on my standpoint, I liked Oh the Horror much more in comparison. However, if you didn't try and challenge yourself to an Operation Takeover, when you guys start writing new things, you're going to go from these experiences as well, where things really worked out on this EP as well. Some things may not have worked out as well in terms of not only other people's opinions, but your opinions as well, which, of course, your opinions matter more than anybody else's, because you're the ones making the art. But when it comes down to it, you're going to know certain things now that you didn't know beforehand, because you put it into practice, you tried it, you put out some songs and just see what happens. And that's what ends up happening, where you go back in the studio, you go back in the, as Dexter would say, the laboratory, run through it, and just, all of a sudden you're going to come out with something that hits with the exact same vigor, but with the GFM style, and just takes over the world like A Day to Remember did with Homesick back in 2009. The building blocks are there, trust me on this. I've listened to the music. I've even got people in from MSOTD Rocks every time I'm on the live stream. There's a couple people that are always like, dude, play GFM if you can. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to. Just give it some time, guys. We've got some Rise Against going right now. I'll go to some GFM. But what ends up happening is, it's going to end up happening. I can tell it's going to work, and a big asset to that can be, when it comes to just building on the sound and really getting the sound out there to the masses, is Team GFM, because I've seen groupings of fans really get galvanized and really push the music out to other places, like to radio, to different like reactors, just really working on that to really garner the whole attention for the band in a larger sense. I've seen it work. I've been a part of those, so I think Team GFM is great for you guys to really kind of grow your sound by them just requesting it to be played on radio. Hell, even on Octane, you could request it on Octane and it would fit.
Yeah, which is what we're so grateful for Team GFM and everything they're doing, because it has gone so much farther than we ever expected it to grow. And
even just this year.
Yeah, even just this year, because when we started, like, we were following people to hopefully get them to follow us back. And those people have stayed with us since the very beginning. Like, they're like, you guys followed me back in, like, 2011, and I've been following you since then. And it's just, like, everything has grown so much. And these fans that are coming together and, like, becoming friends. And we've had people carpool together to shows when they live, like, states apart. And they, like, have flown in and then flown together to come to a show. And people are buying, like, 50 CDs to hand out at other people's concerts to get everyone to listen to GFM. And it's, like, they're going to the extreme to share our music, to share our, like, social media, to share just everything that encompasses GFM. And, like, everyone who's buying merch, everyone who comes to shows and comes to every live stream that we do. Like, it's this mass that is growing, and it's such a crazy thing to watch and to see new people join, and you're like, wait, I've seen them, like, the last, like, 3 live streams. Now they're in our Discord. What? Now they're, like, a constant member. What?
They got merch?
Now they have merch. What? Now they're coming to a show. What? And so it's just, like, you get to see everything grow along, and you get
like
to see
evolving
relationships.
Our own little Pokemon.
Yeah,
and
it's like we have our little Pokemon. Yeah.
And we have this giant team, and we're going to go into battle.
It's like Pokemon, but then, like, they're mixed into, like, the Power Rangers, and they go, Morphine Mighty Rangers. They go, but it's like this giant Team GFM monster, and so it's just, everybody is just coming together. There's, like, it's the friendships, though, that are being made, which is so cool.
I think the next time you put out an album or an EP, that should be the cover. It's just the Team GFM monster.
Oh, my word.
And literally have it just be like a giant, like, Charizard lookalike thing in Power Ranger suit. It might be really wacky and really out there. However, it does seem kind of, it could be right up your alley. So if you use it, hey.
But it has to be all pink.
Someone just said we're all potatoes.
That is, like, the crazy thing. We started drawing people as potatoes on a live stream, and now everybody wants to be a potato.
Oh, man. Can you just imagine a potato on an album cover?
That's something you can do as well, because you have that connectivity with the fans. So when people see it, you're basically calling out your community right there. And it's like,
potatoes.
Hey, you guys, on a live stream, we drew you guys as potatoes. And now the album cover or the EP cover, what is it? It's Team GFM, potato style.
It's just all the different types of potatoes.
It's called... Wait, what do you always say about the potato?
Potatoes are versatile.
It's called versatile.
Versatility.
I mean, they are versatile. You can mash, baked,
Oh, man.
There's so much.
In grade school or middle school, a lot of people use them to conduct electricity. I mean, you can do so many things with a potato.
There's literally, that's what we tell our fans. We're like, don't feel bad if you feel like you're a potato. There is so much you can do if you're a potato. Everyone loves potatoes.
If you're a potato, you can go on Drake and Josh and break Josh Peck's foot by being fired out of a gun right at him while he's holding a barbell above his head.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, I felt like I had to pull that reference out of somewhere. Like, you know what? Time to use it. I really wanted to use it at some point on a podcast, and I'm glad it was, because TMGFM likes to be drawn as potatoes. But one of the things I've been impressed with the 3 of you this year has also been the growth of your social media presence, because I remember back at the beginning of the year, you guys were under 10,000 followers on Instagram, and Team GFM wasn't as big as it is now. But then throughout the year, all of a sudden, you guys got over 10,000 followers on Instagram, which then ended up leading you into going into TikTok. And then all of a sudden, I just kept seeing videos of you guys. I'm not on TikTok, but I kept seeing posts on videos. All of a sudden, okay, Team GFM, okay, you got 1,000 views here, 1,000 views here. All of a sudden, there was one that just shot up over 100,000. I don't even know what it's at right now, but I saw it shoot up. I'm like, huh, they got. I mean, if all of a sudden, especially on TikTok right now, where you're definitely dealing with a much younger audience in comparison to myself, you know, the old, gangly, listen at 26 years old, but it's it's something where those kids that are on TikTok now that are watching this stuff, they're getting into GFM as well. They're getting into that sound, they're getting into that style, and they're going to be the ones that are going to continue to galvanize behind the band for years to come as well.
Yeah, and this is exactly something that we really took for granted when we first heard of TikTok, where it's like, no, we're not going to do it. I don't want to be on TikTok. And it's just really, like, inserting yourselves into all these social media platforms and giving them the time that they deserve, going live on all the platforms. And that's just something we've really dived into and learning how to do. Yeah, just, like, being yourself and not trying to, like, chase trends or chase what you think is going to be popular. Just, like, being yourself, and that's what people are going to really enjoy, watching you be you instead of being someone that you think that they'll like, because it really does feed through the camera if you're being fake or if you're being genuine in yourself. And, like, we've drawn people as potatoes. We tried to do, like, weird challenges, like, where your arms feel like they're falling through the floor, and, like, people have flocked to our streams, like, watch that instead of us, like, trying to do, like, the newest challenge or whatever. Like, they want to see you, and that's something that we've learned throughout this entire year, and, like, being on live streams.
Fun, like, doing the trends, but sometimes us is just playing Call of Duty. And
we played, like, BTS Uno on, like, 5 different streams, and, like, everybody's donating because they want me to win, or they want Lou to win, or they want Cedar to win, and it's, like, people are just having so much fun watching us play, like, BTS Uno. Like, they can't even see the cards. And so, it's just, like, fun stuff like that. It's just something that we didn't realize we could take advantage of and, like, really do. And we are having so much fun on the live streams now. And it's where it was before, it was, like, a chore to go live. And now it's, like, we're really being very appreciative of the opportunity we have and, like, just really putting in 100%. And it really shows. That's why we're growing so much. And it's just, like, you don't grow until you, like, really accept yourself, and then, like, people can see that, and they really love that, which is just something that we've really enjoyed learning.
And the fact that you've learned that is going to take you so much further, not only through the rest of 2020, but also to 2021 and beyond as well, because it seems like every single time you take a look at people that are on social media, these more prominent people, I'm talking about the most prominent people on there, for whatever platform it is, they're always being their most genuine selves. And I'll throw over to Twitch as well, because I know you're on Twitch as well. You're streaming stuff like Call of Duty. I saw you streaming like Left 4 Dead. I thought, man, I should definitely get the Xbox 360 Xbox Live subscription back, and then be like, hey, can I just join in on one of these? Might happen. I still play Left 4 Dead every now and again, and just always play as Ellis, because every time he talks about his good buddy Keith, it always just is hilarious. But when it comes to just being yourselves genuinely on all these different live streams, that's what's going to connect with people, because they're really connecting with you. They're not connecting with the persona that you're trying to create. And then when they see you live, that genuineness is going to come out, and they're just going to really connect with it. I mean, take a look at, especially on Twitch, take a look at what Ronnie Radke of Falling in Reverse is doing, where all of a sudden he's just being himself, just always talking, just not holding back on anything, but that is who he is. And it's just gotten up to a point where at one point he was the second most subscribed account, or paid subscriber account on Twitch. I think he's down to like 20 right now, but that's what ends up happening. But the fact of the matter is, the growth there is absolutely insane. And the fact that you figure that out, you learn that, and you're making it so that when you're doing these live streams, they are fun as all hell, and you're enjoying them. That's the key that's really going to come out, and that's going to bring in so much more quality to these live streams, so much more quality to what you're doing, and the fans are going to end up feeling that and end up going to reciprocate with enjoying it a lot more, following a lot more, telling their friends, and also buying a lot of CDs and then hand them out to people when they get it. It's like, hey, check this out. Here you go. Wow, wow, wow.
You get a CD. You get a CD. You get a CD.
It's like Team GFM is basically turning to Oprah at this point.
I am so, like, totally okay with that.
So Team GFM, if you guys are listening to this either during the YouTube live stream or once the podcast comes out, keep on doing that, because it's working.
A round of applause for Team GFM.
I'm just going to do the whole round of applause to me as well. I learned that in like first grade or something. I very rarely pulled it out. I pulled it out at work once, and it didn't go very well, unfortunately. What you gonna do?
Can't win them all. Can't win them all.
And also, even like before the whole entire pandemic thing happened, because with the full-time job I work, I was in the office, and there was one day I did wear the the Horror t-shirt, because I'm like, I just want to see what happens. Because most of the time I'd wear t-shirts from like either Rise Against, Motionless in White, Ice Nine Kills, all like the crazy like Halloween inspired ones, and people were just like, what the heck is this guy wearing? All of a sudden I come with the Horror one, and everyone's like, wait, what is that? And I'm like, oh, phone, just pull up this band, go Frankie Summer, search GFM, you'll find them. And I had a couple people look at me like, how did you find this band? And I'm just like, hee hee hee. So go enjoy the music. You'll keep liking it.
That's so funny. We love hearing stories like that, and especially when people are just so shocked at like the merch. They're like, "What is that?" And then they look it up. They're like, "Where can I get one?"
Well, yeah, when you have that kind of merch, it really just plays with the wait, what is this? But it just has this cool property to it where people are just gonna really get into it. Yeah, people are gonna want to just look at it and be like, I want some of that, and all of a sudden, where can I get that? And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're getting orders for like 10 more T-shirts because these people are buying them. All of a sudden, they're like sending to their friends, buying them for their kids as well. Because I mean, even when I was at that Green Day show, I remember waiting in line just to get in, and there was like a family of like 5 or 6 that were in front of me, and all the kids were maybe under the age of 8, and they all had on like the GFM cheerleader tops. I'm like,
Oh.
oh my god, they got like really small kids into their music. I'm like, and I was thinking, do I tell them like that they go like with the unclean screens, they go hard? Or like, wait a minute, but if they're already wearing that stuff, they already know. So yeah, these kids are definitely going on the right path musically. I'm just thinking, just rock on, just rock on.
That's the cutest thing. I love like all the little kids that can come to the shows and they're wearing the shirts, or like their parents will like cut the big ones up and tie them so they fit them, or like they're like the cool like designs in them and stuff, and it's just like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of who you're gonna become.
You are literally creating a whole generation of just rock and metal fans, and it's really needed at this point. So again, big round of applause for you. But for everyone that's also watching this on the YouTube stream right now, I will issue all of you a challenge, and please hear me out on this challenge because this is something I've seen work in the past, and this is for Team GFM as well. I mentioned it earlier, but I will actually describe why this works. So when I mentioned about everything going on with the bands that I've seen that have really grown when their fans have been galvanized and just basically pushing stuff out online and just basically requesting things to be played, trust me, it works. One of my favorite bands that has been upcoming, the only other band we interviewed on this podcast 3 times, which is Kingdom Collapse. I have a podcast with lead singer Jonathan Norris coming out on December 17th. So if you're listening to this after, or when my podcast comes out on our channel, yeah, just go check it out. But for everyone on the live stream on YouTube, December 17th. We talk about this because they have their own group as well. And what ended up happening was when their single Uprise came out, so many people were just constantly requesting it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, calling in Octane to have it played. It was the #1 played song on Octane for 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
And they've been talks with some other groups to basically get on tour once 2021 hits. I'm not going to say what groups, but this is basically the best way to put it. The size of the shows that they'd be playing just by themselves before the pandemic, when I saw them in a bar, there's about 100 people there. The shows that they'd be playing after the pandemic would be in the thousands. So
Oh my word.
there's also 2 other bands I could think of, Any Given Sin and Saul. Their albums and their songs have been pushed on Octane for the past like 5 months. And the amount of people that know their music and how much that they've grown in that time has been absolutely insane. I've been following it every step of the way. So trust me when I say this, it works. So the challenge for you, Team GFM, is this. Pick a song off of Operation Takeover. My suggestion for this specifically is Smile, because I think it is the one that people will really get into right from the start. And the challenge is, whatever radio station it is, as long as it deals with rock, metal, or whatever it might be that really would fit Smile's style and GFM style, request it as much as you can. Even if it's your local radio station, even if it's Sirius XM Octane, because that is a huge platform as well. Just keep like messaging Grant Random and tell him to play it. It works. I've seen it work before. It can work to help grow GFM from that point where all of a sudden they're getting to that 6-figure monthly listener stream on Spotify to then 7 figures. All of a sudden, then instead of seeing them on tour when they're like with a couple hundred people, you're gonna be seeing them with a couple thousand. I've seen it work. I know it works. So the challenge is to make it happen.
Make it happen. We're talking to you right here.
That was inspirational.
And if you forget about it, well, I'm going to keep pushing it as well, because when the podcast comes out on my end, which will be right before Christmas, because that's kind of the thing I've come up with both GFM and Collapse. I want to do podcasts right before Christmas, right for the end of the year, kind of look back at the year that was, and then also keep talking about the stuff because it's so much fun. But again, that's the challenge going into the rest of the year and through 2021 is just keep requesting this stuff everywhere you possibly can. and in every which way. Tweet at the people. Just comment on their Instagram posts. Send them Facebook messages. Just, even though it kind of seems like it's spammy a little bit, but when they end up playing it, this is the other key too. When they end up playing it, be sure to, however you reach out to them the same way and give them a thank you, because that also adds to it and that goes a long way as well.
Exactly, yeah. And it's, once it's starting playing, like, be there when it plays too. And keep requesting it to play.
Exactly, because then all of a sudden, again, you're going to get to that point where you're going to be seeing GFM on stage with crowds in the thousands. Trust me, I know it works. And the challenge has now been set.
It's starting now. Ding!
I'm kind of expecting right after to start seeing Twitter like just start going off with certain people requesting Smile be played on different places. I'm gonna look at after this is over. I'm going on Twitter. I'm gonna search up the hashtag Octane or SiriusXM Octane, and I hope to see like 10, 20, 30 tweets from Team GFM requesting it to be played on there, because even if they don't know about it, they're gonna know about it now.
They are. You heard them. You heard them right here.
You should use the hashtag GFM on Octane.
Ooh, that's a good one too.
Because then we can search it up.
It'd be easier for me to find it then too.
Use the hashtag GFM on Octane and tell them to play Smile every single day until they do it. And if they do it, we'll think of something special to do.
And also, if they do it and they play it on Octane, here's my next thing for you. Keep doing it again. Just keep doing it. 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 Because you get to a point where all of a sudden Smile's being played on Octane like 30 or 40 times, and then when you look at the Big Un's like top songs played of the week, they're gonna be in the top 10. Again, I've seen this work consistently for the past 5 months between Saul's King of Misery and Any Given Sins and Insidious. They've been up there for the past 5 months. 5
Oh
months.
my goodness, this is so crazy.
Fans as well. This works. I feel like I'm like pitching like some weird kind of like pyramid scheme right now. But this works.
It's like, oh, order now for only $49.99 plus shipping and handling.
With 10 payments of $49.99.
If you order the next 5 minutes, you get a whole entire second set for free.
But wait, there's more.
You also get the My Pillow with it as well.
Well, not my pillow.
I have one.
That's actually pretty great.
I have actually 2 of those. I think I'm going back to a different pillow now because it really does help with my sleep. Now I'm getting really weird into this, going like full on infomercial. Never expecting things to happen on the podcast in a very natural way, but that's the way I love about it, because wacky things happen all the time, and that's the best kind of podcast ever, because then you just get to have a whole bunch of fun on them, talk music, and then all of a sudden you start pitching a whole infomercial.
Those are the best ones, though. If you're not having fun, then like, why are you doing it? You know.
And heck, even when this episode comes out, I mean, I'm gonna keep like when I do all my promotion stuff for it, I'm gonna keep up there. Oh, like request it. Smile on Octane, hashtag GFM on Octane, like put it everywhere. I'm gonna put it as many places I can, because honestly, this has to happen due to the fact that your sound has the quality and it has the blending ability to be on those platforms, and not only be on them, because a lot of your songs have the ability to be on it, but there are certain songs that have the ability to be on Octane and take off with a lot of power, with a lot of vigor, and it's refreshing to hear it as well too, because there's a lot of stuff on Octane where it kind of has a little bit of a similar sound right now, and some of the stuff you girls got going, yeah, it's gonna take people and just be like, huh? And all of a sudden they're gonna go in and start listening to more stuff, and then you're gonna have like 3 or 4 times more the GFM members, Team GFM members, than right now as of like January 31st, 2021. That's what I'm hoping for, and well, I'm gonna try and make a big push to do that as well, because well, that just seems like a good idea.
It's gonna be just the everyone's New Year's resolution. Get GFM on Octane.
Weekly.
Weekly.
I was gonna say, instead of just get GFM on Octane, the resolution should be get GFM and keep GFM on Octane.
Yes.
2 parts of that.
Those are the 2. Those are the only ones you're allowed to have this year.
I mean, and then there's also another one as well, and the other resolution is more like a goal that you're gonna want to achieve, and that is because hopefully once 2021 comes through, and with everything that happened with 2020 with the pandemic, hopefully we get to a point where all of a sudden live music is back in full force, and your other resolution or goal should be to at some point in 2021 see GFM live. If you have seen them live already, go do it again, because you know exactly how much fun it is. If you haven't seen them live though, yeah, you're gonna want to go do it, because I mean, you've heard us talk about it. It's so much fun to go see the girls live. You're gonna have to do it. It's
You
a
have
goal.
no choice.
It's a But also, as we are closing out 2020, what can we expect from your girls in 2021 as of right now? And I know, again, with everything going on with the pandemic, there's a lot of stuff that's just up in the air. But are there any like plans to just really go and do something crazy, or really just go and continue on with the way you're going with growing things on Twitch, growing on TikTok, growing all over social media as well? Any interesting plans that you're willing to share? Because if there's something that's super duper secret, then we can just kind of play the what is it game. By until it comes out.
We definitely are going to continuously grow on all of our social media platforms. Definitely pushing that out as hard as we can. We have a Christmas show. It's like a Facebook live stream event on December 23rd. And it's going to be like GFM meets like SNL for Christmas. And it's just going to be like a very fun time. Like, we're excited. Derek's going to be there. Princess Milk's going to be there. Like, all these people are showing up. Susan will also be there. It's just going to be a very fun time. And then for next year, there's definitely a lot of stuff in the works. A lot of our festivals from this year transferred over, so we're super excited about that, to be able to get back out on the road, hopefully, if those stay. And we're just very looking forward to, like, push as hard as we can to get back out. We have a ton of stuff in the works, ton of shows in the works to hopefully be out for a very long time. So if that's still allowed to happen, you heard the man, you have to come to a show. It's not questionable. It's mandatory. If we are near you, you have to come. And we also toured a castle the other day, so I'm just gonna put that out there. That's maybe something in the future that's gonna be with GFM.
Wait.
Like a real life castle. We were there.
Why? And I'm curious because I've got a feeling it's for some wacky like music video, some wacky thing you guys doing on social media. Because if you guys toured a castle just for the sake of touring a castle, I feel like there's some kind of ulterior motivation. But if it's for the sake of just, hey, we want to go tour a castle, we're just gonna have some fun with it. So bing bang boom, we're gonna tour a castle. Like, that's awesome.
The motivation is the secret right now.
Oh, so that's the secret thing.
But I've also always wanted to go to a castle, so maybe we just went to go.
Maybe we're moving.
To a castle? Oh my word, the new GFM house. It's not the Hype House, it's the GFM castle.
And then we also got new merch too.
We did get new merch.
Liv's actually
wearing the new hoodie. We have one in pink as well. It's a dark gray with pink logos. And we have a new hat. It says #BeautyCore with GFM.
Ooh, nice.
Those are our new
When
merch.
the podcast doesn't release, one thing I will make sure of is for everyone that is listening, when you take a look at the description of the podcast on YouTube, Spotify Podcast, Google Play, iHeartRadio, all the links will be there for everything for GFM social media, for where you can stream their music and for their merch and their website as well, so that you guys always have that one-stop shop, just quick bing bang boom, make it as easy as possible so that, yeah, you guys can just quickly buy some of this stuff, because I feel like my wallet's going to get a little bit lighter after this podcast, so we'll see what happens. Don't be surprised if all of a sudden you see me wearing one of those gray sweatshirts on a podcast.
It's pretty comfortable.
It's actually so soft. We just got them in today because they were for pre-order until they came in. And they are so soft on the inside. Like, I was genuinely shocked how soft they were. I was very surprised. I might steal one.
Alright, just let me do this. Let's go to,
He's like ordering one right now.
yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. This is the first time I've actually gone to order merch during a podcast, but this is one of the first that I've done. If I see the hoodie right there, let's see. Ooh, it's a medium already? Yeah, let's just go to 5 now. That just seems like a bet.
Here you have it, boys and girls.
Oh man,
A live
online
purchasing
tutorial
how to purchase
on
GFS
how to
hoodie.
live your best life. Step
Yeah, I
1,
mean, and then this is crazy.
buy a hoodie.
Why is merch?
Step
Why
2, wear the
not?
hoodie.
Like, and if this is something that only I have ever done, then I am super happy about that. Okay, I gotta type in the right address. Somehow screw that up, then that is a very bad thing.
Oh my word.
Got it done. Okay. And one thing I will not do is say my credit card information. That just seems like a bad idea. But let's see.
Not even just on the podcast, but it would also go out to YouTube live. So
Yeah, they're.
Even better, it's like it's on YouTube as well right now.
everyone's just buying sweatshirts on the podcast.
Yeah, if this is anything for you guys, like if you want to buy a sweatshirt on the podcast, like just go do it right now. Okay, let's hit the pay now button.
Everyone do it together. This is a group building experience, a team building experience. Everyone buys hoodies at the same time.
GFM team building exercise right here, right now. Where, let's see, let me move the camera over a little bit. So, yep,
Oh!
He really bought it. He did it.
He did it once
He
again.
did it.
I literally did it. So at some point, if you are all Team GFM fans on YouTube right now, if you check out the Corporation podcast, check out all the bands that we've had on there. Again, a lot of the bands have mentioned, like King Quap, Saul, bands like Throw the Fight, Kill Lights, No Resolve. We've had them on the podcast, so you can always check everything out. And heck, I have never bought some of their merch while on the podcast. I bought that sweatshirt that Lou's wearing right now. I just bought it.
Yeah.
Now we can match.
He bought a sweatshirt while recording the podcast.
Really?
He's gonna match Lou.
Oh my word. That's hilarious.
Only on the Corporation podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And then one other thing that you mentioned was with a lot of the festivals that you had going on in 2020 being rescheduled for 2021, hopefully everyone saved their tickets for it or transferred tickets over to 2021 so that when those festivals do come back, you're able to see GFM because, let me tell you, I did that as well. I still have the Life Fest ticket for 2020 that transferred to 2021. I've still got it set. And I also have my idea for Rock Fest in Cadott, Wisconsin, like the week after Life Fest, which I know GFM is on the bill for. I have that set as well. So, I mean, we see 2 straight weekends in a row in 2021. Hopefully that happens because that just sounds like a great 2 weekends right there.
That would be the absolute perfect way to spend your summer. Just watching GFM.
Oh word. This is not biased or anything.
I'm not biased.
We're not biased here on the podcast. We're not biased here on GFM's live stream, but yeah, we're just gonna say it. If you're gonna spend your summer seeing GFM play live, you're gonna have a summer that you're gonna tell your grandkids about in about 60, 70 years. You're gonna be sitting down, your grandkids will be asking, so that pandemic that happened, what'd you do afterwards? And you're just gonna look and say, well, kids did the best thing in the world. I just went around the country seeing as many GFM as I could.
We only have facts here on the podcast.
And then all of a sudden, I'm just going to bring it back up the podcast. Plus, one other thing, too, is when it comes to that Rock Fest in Cadott, Wisconsin, that whole festival, I've got a whole idea I'm working on for it to where I'm going to rent myself, like, a mobile home, like, in Winnebago, and literally also, like, go see shows, go be in the crowd, go have a great time, but also conduct, like, quick little interviews out of it just for the hell of it, because why the hell not? No one else can do that. And I've already talked to like 6 or 7 bands that are on that bill right now, and I'm like, I keep bringing up to them, like, just come over, hang out for like 10, 15 minutes, just hang out in person. I'll have coolers full of like whatever the heck you guys could want. I know there are people that'll drink beer, people that drink hard liquor. For people that don't drink, I'll have Gatorade, water, soda, all that stuff. So just come on, hang out, have a good time. We'll talk for like 10 to 15 minutes, record a little bit of it, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm trying to do like a little like festival kind of thing going on for 2021. I'm supposed to do it this year, but thank you, COVID.
That would be so fun. I literally just from us in the van traveling is so fun. I can't even imagine just concert hopping, interviewing people. That it just sounds so much fun.
I'm giving it a shot as best as I can, and hopefully, because I'm planning on doing a Europe trip. I was supposed to do a Europe trip this year in September. I'm doing it again next year because there's plenty of bands I've interviewed over in Europe as well, and I would basically be hopping between them and talking with them in person, hanging out with them, going to see them play live in their home countries, in their hometowns, and because most of them play that harder, more metalcore style, probably getting absolutely wrecked in a mosh pit. But you know what? If I come back to the U.S. after that Europe trip, bruised, battered, beaten up, and with a broken nose, couple concussions, you're gonna know I had the best time.
If you don't come back,
It'll add on to your 7.
without, or if you don't come with a broken bone, you obviously didn't have a good enough time.
And obviously, I didn't have a good enough time the last time I was in Europe. So, I didn't have any broken bones. I probably should have at least at 2 different occasions, but you know what? I kind of saved myself on that a little bit. So, yeah. Didn't take full the full recommendation of January. If you don't have a broken come back at all until you have one.
It's like, go break your bone. Listen, don't come back. I don't want you to come back here.
They broke my bones.
Go listen to our song Bones.
All of a sudden, I'm gonna come back, and all of a sudden, you're just gonna see my jaw like 2 inches to the left. It's like, Kevin, what happened? Oh, we broke your jaw a little bit. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh my goodness.
And then I have to like realign it every single time I talk, because it's gonna start drifting to the left or drifting to the right, just like holding it every single time I'm talking. That'd be weird, but you know.
Oh my word.
Well, because I know the YouTube live stream is about to come to a close, looking at the time. So, as we close out this podcast, Team GFM, thank you for watching the YouTube live stream of this as well, and also being a part of the first or second time ever that I actually bought something live from the band on camera, and then had to show it because it's just too cool. And remember that challenge I gave you guys. Remember GFM, hashtag GFM on Octane, and just keep pushing it and keep pushing it, because I feel like I got to do that whole infomercial thing again. It works. So as we close this out, are there any final words that you girls would like to say? Because I always like to give the bands a chance at the end just to say whatever the heck they want. So the floor is yours.
Definitely follow us on all of our social media sites at the GFM Band. We are growing very fast, and we want you all included. We want you all part of our family in Team GFM, and it's a very like wholesome, great place to be. We have a Discord now, and it's just full of memes and fun times. So if you feel like you don't have a place to belong, you belong in Team GFM. So make sure to make that a goal of your life to join Team GFM.
Yes, please join Team GFM. And when it comes to joining Team GFM on Facebook, because I know I'm a part of that group, I will also include the link for that in the description of the podcast as well, so that if everyone's listening here that really wants to become a part of Team GFM, bing, bang, boom, I'm making it as easy as possible for you to when it comes to, again, following them on social media, streaming their music, buying their merch, like I already did. Discord, TikTok, Twitch, whatever it might be, whatever the heck I can find on them, honestly. I'll put in there. Discord, I mean, yeah, and then also going to put in there, of course, hashtag GFM on Octane, and then, of course, right when the podcast is coming out, I'm going to be pushing it super duper hard, because I want to see this happen, so we're going to make sure it happens. Oh yeah? Woo! And as we close this out for the time being, I never like to say goodbye on these podcasts because, well, I've interviewed you girls 3 times, I've seen you play live once, and I have tickets for 2021 music festivals where I'm going to be able to see you twice. Hopefully that happens. I'm still hoping. Everything on that. So, in good conscience, I cannot say goodbye because that just seems like I'm never going to see you again, which of course is impossible. So, I'm going to end with my classic. Of course, all you got to do is because I plan on seeing you guys twice in 2021 live at least. See you later.
See you later.
Wiki. B. Is that? It's the. There you go.
We're still on the YouTube stream. We invited them as well. So.
Okay. That was close.
Dear
Hello,
words
everyone.
goals.
Kevin is so fun to do interviews with. He's literally, like, we always just laugh the entire time we do interviews with him. So, if you haven't yet, make sure to check out his interview. Let me pull up to make sure I don't butcher this.
I thought of an idea too.
What?
So, you know how I said to do the hashtag GFM on Octane? I was thinking, if you guys hashtag GFM on Octane everywhere, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, message them, call them, whatever you do, and it gets on there, maybe we could have a performance of a special song on the Christmas extravaganza on the 23rd, if it happens.
Well, we won't know.
If it happens before the 23rd, we will.
Usually with the radio, that kind of stuff, that it won't be that fast.
I'm just saying if it happens, you know, Team GFM is strong. If it happens, we can play a special song that has 4 letters in the name. Starts with
radio
S,
life, it wouldn't be like
ends
that.
with
It would
E.
be like in January.
I'm just saying if they're strong, they might not hit it, but if you
Okay,
guys can
so-
hit it, we
so
will
his
play
thing
it.
Is Kevin at the Chord Progression Podcast. If you don't follow him yet, make sure you follow him. We'll be sharing the link and everything, so you'll see, like, the tags and stuff. Make sure to follow him, support him. He supports us a lot. Like he said, he has our skateboard in the back of his setup and everything, and he literally bought a sweatshirt on the stream. So we really, really appreciate all he does, all he's doing to like try to push us for radio and everything. Like he said, tweet out, post out, Facebook message, email, hashtag GFM on Octane.
And, like, tell them to play Smile. Like,
tell them to play Smile, yeah.
Oh, no, we know where we
Put hashtag GFM on Octane, play Smile by at the GFM band, and then tag Octane. So they will see it. Because literally,
Oh,
like,
snap,
we've talked to
Pastor
enough
James.
people. If they get so many tags, they'll just be so annoyed that they'll do it just so you guys will stop, like, tagging them.
Email them.
And then just
Spam
keep
them.
messaging them to keep us playing. Because if they get enough, like, votes on their, what is it called? Like, the test drive thing, like, we can get into full rotation if we have enough votes. So, we need your help, guys. We need you to be sending those emails, sending those messages.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Way to go. Maggie on finishing your
Oh,
internship
yeah,
today.
sure, I did finish
Would.
my internship today. It was kind of bittersweet. It was kind of sad. But
You got a cake.
I did get a cake, and I got
you a
flowers.
cake.
But definitely send out all of those. Like he said,
Christian
GFM
just
on
tweeted
Octane.
it.
Do it.
And go
He
let
wanted-
everyone else
He's
know,
gonna go
too.
check. So if there's not 20 people, he's gonna be mad at us. So everyone go tweet out hashtag GFM on Octane.
And never
Play
stop,
Smile
ever.
at the GFM band.
And go tell everyone else, like, on Instagram and Discord, everyone that wasn't here. Tell them to do it, too. Post it on your stories. Let everyone know. Let everyone know. I'm worried. I thought I turned down that alert. Why is it still so loud? It's literally almost muted. Why is
Maybe
it so
the
loud?
sound needs to be turned down.
That's the only sound that it's going through.
But like when you plugged in the sound, can you turn like when you are putting them in
I just had a
on
normal
Streamlabs and
volume.
everything? Everyone's saying this super loud. I'm
RIP.
so laughing. Oh, word. Okay. But yeah, so like we said, go do that. He's gonna check Twitter and he's gonna message us and be like, bro, why didn't Team GFM do what I said?
Should we go live on TikTok in a little bit?
We can.
If we get at least 20, once we hit 20, we'll go live on TikTok. There you go. If there's 20 tweets,
If
we'll
you
go
can
live on
be
TikTok.
like, you can just send out 20 yourself and we'll go live on TikTok.
But you have to say play Smile, hashtag GFM and Octane, and tag Octane.
tag Octane and tag us so they know
They
both
have to
things
see
are
it.
tagged.
And once we hit 20, we'll go live. Even if it's like 1 minute after
like
this, we'll
Jamie,
go live.
if you want to tweet 20 times, you can do it. Doug, if you want to tweet 20 times, you can do it.
Christian,
Everybody, like Christian, you want to
Ian?
tweet it? Brado, you want to tweet it? I don't know if
Andrew?
Does Brado have a Twitter? I don't know her sure.
he can make a Twitter.
You can make a Twitter.
And it can be on Instagram
you can
too.
post out on your Instagram story. Play Smile by
If
the
you
GFM
run a
band
GFM fan
on at
page.
Octane.
If you run one of the fan pages, tag them there.
If you want it on Facebook, tag them on Facebook.
Start what they call petition.
Oh my word, get the, where you do the petition.org, if you get like 1,000 signatures, they'll play it or something. Do that. Do it so they can see it. They have to see it. And you can message them too. That's just extra points. If you want brownie points, message them. What's the tweet? Oh, what's a tweet? You can post it on Facebook.
Heather's got Twitter.
GFM on Octane. Play Smile by at the GFM band at Octane.
Hashtag GFM and Octane.
So, if you want to do it on Instagram, you want to do it on Twitter, you want to do it on Facebook. Are those the only ones you can post on?
Make a TikTok.
Maybe-
And put
I don't know
hashtag
that they
GFM.
have a TikTok.
We'll do edit. You can still put it on there.
You can put it on there. Do whatever you got to do.
Brado.
We have to commence Operation Takeover right now. This is just a spur of the moment piece of the Operation Takeover.
Andrew did it.
didn't want to send that during the interview. Oh, because it said bring me my money.
Bring my mom money.
So definitely go do that. We're gonna end the live, and then when there's 20, we'll go live on TikTok.
There's already 7 tweets. We'll probably
That's
be seeing
what
you
was going off in
soon.
the band photo. It was going bling, bling.
We'll see you soon, guys. We'll see you soon. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you so much for the donations.
We hope you enjoyed the interview.
Yeesh.
Everyone who followed us.
And like
Maybe
you
that was
said,
yesterday.
we really, really appreciate Team GFM. And you guys really are pushing us, so we really appreciate it. Thank you
I'll
for
send
joining
a
us.
strongly worded letter. Tom, if you said that, take a picture. I will laugh so hard.
Don't do them.
Send a
You can send a letter to Octane and say play GFM.
You use your
Literally,
seal?
I would laugh so hard. That would be the
Oh,
the
I thought you were
best
saying
thing
like
ever.
a bad, like a strong letter. You're like, if you don't play GFM.
No,
I'll
it's
never
just
listen
you need
again.
to play Smile by the GFM band. Hashtag GFM on Octane. That's your new goal, Tom. You have to do that.
All right. We love you guys. We'll see you. in a little bit. Thank you for joining.
Make sure to support
we'll see you
Kevin and the Core
Friday.
Progression podcast.
And probably tomorrow on TikTok, but
what's tomorrow?
Friday.
Thursday?
Yeah, we'll see you on TikTok tomorrow. And a little bit. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.